Welcome, everybody. John Zager. Good morning. Um, Hope everybody's doing well. It's a beautiful day here in Colorado. A little warmer last night for sure. I think it only got down to about 25 or so. Tonight it's only supposed to get down to 30. But this morning is clear. We got a few clouds out here to the west. And it's kind of a crisp spring morning. Winter certainly seems over. So anyway, today, haven't done a podcast in a couple days, I guess. Kind of been contemplating what I'm going to be talking about for a while. But what I wanted to talk about this morning is cellular memory. It's kind of a big topic, especially in neuroscience. So we go on to talk about our belief systems that we get when we're little people, and perceptions that we walk away with as we, become teenagers and whatnot, and how everything that we accept, believe, and surrender, belief system-wise, becomes hardwired, certainly by the age we're in our 30s, and it's now in our subconscious, which is 95% of what we use every day of our life, the program that we live our lives by. And when we run into the issues and concerns and problems in the world or whatever and whatnot, first place we go is to our subconscious program that was uploaded in us as little people, between the first 6 years of life anyway. It was pretty much put in there. And my contention is that it may not apply today. This is a long time ago. Think about your age and that the belief systems that you have were when you were kids, and it's that many years ago. And two things may happen. One, the information that was put in may have been wrong in the beginning, may have been unhealthy, may have been harmful, may have been not accurate, or it just may not apply anymore. And it can become hazardous in the sense that the example we keep using is with disease. If you saw diabetes in your family and you were told, our family is diabetic, you're going to get diabetic, you're going to become a diabetic, and you buy all that stuff, then you're pretty much going to become diabetic. And again, please understand what we're saying is that this is epigenetics, so to speak, in the sense that genetics don't apply. If you had diabetes in your family, it doesn't mean you're going to become diabetic and you have the crosshairs on your forehead because of genetics. So the reason we become diabetic is that we accept the belief system and we formulate perceptions that we're going to be diabetic like everybody else in our family. So that's kind of where that goes. But what I'm wanting to talk about just for a minute or so this morning is that belief system and that you have as a child growing up that becomes hardwired. The neurons in the brain, right, connect. And that belief is so strong and is relived over and over and over and over again in your head that it becomes hardwired. And what happens from there is that belief system goes down into your cells in your body. And again, we have, I don't know, I hear so many different numbers, but let's say there's somewhere between, I don't know, 50 and 100 trillion cells in your body. That's a lot of cells, yeah? Okay. So the belief system is not only in the neuron connections in your brain, but the belief system now is in the 50 to 100 trillion cells in your body. And what do they know? They just know what you put in there. So if you put a belief system that says you're going to become diabetic, talk about being hardwired. Now you've got your entire body cellularly believing you're going to become diabetic. It's called cellular memory. So it just makes it all that much more important to reevaluate your belief system. I just can't talk about that enough, It's time you sit down and whatever age you happen to be, it's time to sit down and go back on a piece of paper and every day put down, I don't know, 1 or 2 or 5 beliefs that you took away from childhood and ask yourself, are they good for me today? Is that a belief system that I want to keep? Is that a belief system that is not loving to me? That is not healthy for me? Do I want that belief system going through my brain, going through my cells in my body? I think it's time that we, every day, every single day, we need to put a key word out. I think I talked about this, I don't know, maybe a week or 2 ago. But the word that I use elsewhere, that I hear elsewhere, is change. So every time a thought comes into your head that has to do with you becoming diabetic, you are going to have a disease. Every time something like that comes into your head, say the word change so that you make sure that you're noting the fact that, I don't believe that. Change that thought. And, put a thought in that is opposite that. Diabetes has nothing to do with genetics in the sense that it's passed on that way. And I do not accept the belief that our family is prone to being diabetic and that I will become diabetic when I become an adult. Just put some sort of thought behind it that indicates you're not on board with that belief system. Say the word change so that you stop that thought, that belief, that perception from going any further. And before you know it, you're probably going to come up with some belief systems, several, if not many, that probably are not good for you. And then every single day we need to work on not allowing those thoughts, perceptions, beliefs to enter our head. And, again, that's the part where you're trying to prune or take apart the neuron connections and separate them so that they're no longer hardwired. And in turn, you're changing the cellular memory of all the cells in your body. So diabetes, as you get on in life and you believe all that you heard when you were growing up or as a child, and you formulated perceptions that you're going to become diabetic, right? And then you become an adult, and where does all it gets uploaded from that belief system, and you're uploading all those genes that are diabetic. You're uploading all those cells that are diabetic. And by pruning those thoughts out of your brain and the cells in your body, you're downloading them out of your body. You're downloading the genes that are diabetic. You're downloading the cells that are diabetic. You're washing them out of your body. And you're uploading cells and genes that are healthy and strong for your immune system. The interesting thing is that, I don't know, I can say this stuff a lot of different ways and say it over a few times, but most people just won't accept the fact that it works. And traditional medicine is the belief. Traditional medicine. Well, traditional medicine has not got a good track record on disease. People die with traditional medicine based on medications are not all good. They have side effects. A lot of people die from the side effects of medication. A lot of people die from just the medication. The treatment. Why is it that traditional medicine can't get rid of diabetes? I guess that's the disease that we're using today as a topic, right? Why is it that they continually keep giving you little bits and pieces of how to improve your diabetes, but they're basically saying you're going to live with your diabetes? That's a belief system, as opposed to saying there's no reason you should be diabetic. Let's change that belief system. Let's change that in your cellular memory. Let's unwire the neurons up in your head so that you will not become diabetic. So, I don't know. I'm not quite sure if I'm explaining it all correctly or well enough for people. But that's kind of my thoughts for today. I guess there's more to go with that, but for right now, maybe we'll just focus on that and see where that goes. Always looking for new people to do more research study with me. I talked about that the other day. So If you have any questions or concerns or issues or topics, or you feel differently about some things that I'm saying, that's okay. It's perfectly okay. And please get in touch with me. Contact me. I'm easy to find. There's ways to get a hold of me all over the internet. So I welcome that opportunity. And also, if you guys want to do a live podcast, eventually we'll acquire more people. I turned a podcast into radio, iHeartRadio, that's what it is. And they're going to evaluate it. I guess it takes them about 10 days, a couple weeks to do that. And if any of these are any good, then they're going to start putting them on iHeartRadio, and that will increase, hopefully, the amount of people that listen. If any of this is of interest to you, or you think other people might have an interest in listening, please turn them on to my little podcasts. I was looking back the other day, and when I was talking about all my fishing and adventure, which I've done quite heavily in my life, I had really, much higher numbers than when I talk about psychology and neuroscience and self-healing and whatnot. But that's okay. It'll all come, and we just have to be patient and become involved. And I want you guys to be involved in this podcast and everything. And I will try to back off of the asking for donations kind of thing. It's pretty rough being self-supporting, but I guess I'll keep that down to fewer times I bring it up. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. God bless everyone, and of course, take care of one another. See you. Thanks. Bye.